Hello everyone, and welcome back at today's analysis. As now, for the 106th episode, we are going to talk about none other than Joffrey Baratheon, the secondary antagonist of the Game of Thrones. One of the most evil villains ever made in television, as well as one of the most hated, Joffrey Baratheon is one of the few characters in the Game of Thrones to be an actual unredeemable monster, as well as the most hated and most evil member of both the Baratheon and the Lannister families. And in this episode, I'm going to analyze all that we know about him throughout the books and the series, to understand Joffrey and how and why he's so evil and despicable to begin with. And now, let's begin. Joffrey Baratheon was born in the year 282 AC in King's Landing to Cersei Lannister and Robert Baratheon, and while on the surface he seems to be Robert's son and heir to the throne, in reality he was the incestuous bastard child of Cersei and her twin brother Jaime Lannister, thus making her both his mother and aunt, and Jaime being both his uncle and his biological father. But to save both of his and Cersei's life, he was pretended to be Robert's son, and so, growing up, he was pretty much treated with nepotism and neglect by Robert, as he always wanted his attention and always did anything, including hurting others and people and animals alike in order to lure his attention. However, as he grew older and older, Joffrey has become nothing short of a sadistic psychopath, as he enjoys hurting other people and believes that he himself has the right to do so. And circa around 300 AC, after Robert died, he himself became the new king of Westeros and the new lord of the Seven Kingdoms, ascending to power on the Iron Throne and in his short-lived reign of terror. He came to officially abuse and all his subjects around him, especially his supposed fiancée, Sansa Stark, who he was supposed to marry, and even his uncle, Tyrion Lannister, for the fact that he suffered from dwarfism. And of course, he basically treated bad in almost every member of his family except for his mother, his grandfather, and his uncle father. And of course, he eventually pretty much cared for nothing about his subjects and treated basically everybody horrible. But in response to his cruelty, Sansa was officially married with Tyrion Lannister in order to save her life. While they were officially married, in reality they were never romantically involved, as they eventually was only marriage on surface, in the sense they only wants to protect her from Joffrey. And in response to this, Joffrey found himself a new love interest, someone they actually come to understand him, Marguerite Tyrell. And now, before we continue, we will stop and ask ourselves, is Joffrey evil? And the reason why I'm asking this is while it's undeniable that Joffrey is an absolute monster, it should be noted here that the fact that he was treated with neglect and nepotism by Robert might be one of the reasons why he's so evil to begin with. However, even though he wasn't raised very well or treated good, not being hurt enough by your father is not a good excuse for treating everyone around you with such horrible cruelty. Not to mention that his horrible actions, in my opinion, prove that he's far past it. Another thing here is for the fact that he himself is an incest child, and so because of this, he could be argued that one of his birth defects might be some sort connected to his mentality, in the sense that he is evil or at least has little to no empathy because of the fact that he is an incest baby, and thus he might be some sort of a birth defect. However, even if this proves to be true, Joffrey is completely and morally aware of all the horrible things he's doing, and the worst part is the fact that he enjoys it. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, he is one of the most evil Game of Thrones characters ever created, and even the actor himself is disgusted with him. And thus proving that the answer is ultimately yes, Joffrey is evil and he's nothing short of pure evil. And in the end, Joffrey has been poisoned less than a year into his reign, and thus after his death, his reign of terror come to an end once and for all. So in the end, who was Joffrey Baratheon? He was nothing more but a sadistic psychopath who only wanted power in his own name, a master that would do anything and hurt basically almost everyone around him for his own sadistic pleasure, and a master that could easily be called as one of the most evil villains ever made in television. Thanks for watching, don't forget to give a like and subscribe, and have a nice day.
Harder. I said, harder. He'd want me to get his money's worth.